2024 at 5:30 p.m. Katie, would you take roll?
Sure. Karen Mao.
Here.
Liz Lasky.
Here.
Karen Peltola.
Here.
John Beach.
Here.
Tim O'Connor.
Here.
Laney Rozga.
Here.
Sean Wojcicki.
Present.
Did she say that right?
No.
Say your name for us, please.
Jeski.
Wojcicki.
Yeah.
Wojcicki.
Got it.
Wojcicki.
Perfect.
That'd be horrible.
Like you're Polish.
Going on.
Thank you.
For the next.
Wojcicki.
Wojcicki.
I'm used to it.
Okay, first item is approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Great. Okay, and next on the list is citizen public comments. Linda?
I think you folks all know who I am from the teen center. We're applying for a grant to resurface the skate park, and we accomplished the very first step, which is, hey, can we apply for this grant? That's all I know so far. My friend who's helping me has talked to Jeff a couple of times, and his ideas and my ideas are not running on the same road yet. My husband was up there, and you know how husbands are. His suggestion was to move all the equipment, put down corner cements, brace it, and put new asphalt. So then my friend, which is Marvin's friend, they both went there. And they agreed also that that's what needed to be done. You just can't put new asphalt and leave it like that. So my friend's name is Lyle. He went to see Jeff, and they sat and chatted about it. And the DPW seemed to think they could do 16 square pieces of metal to brace it instead of concrete. I don't know. But Jeff said that he thought the city could move it, do it, put it all back. So then when I talked to my friend today, Jeff had told him, I think I'm right. I don't think I'm talking out of turn here. Jeff doesn't think the whole thing needs to be done, and he's got a different idea. So we're gonna have to sit and chat about it. Because if we ask for all this money and we don't do what we say we do, then we'll be in trouble.
Right.
So I'm kind of letting my friend take the lead with Jeff, because, you know, a man talking to a man is better than me.
Not always.
So
You're talking about the majority of women here.
I feel comfortable about that.
I beg to differ.
But I'm not an architect. I'm nothing. You know, I just have an idea. So I'm gonna talk. Well, Lyle has talked to Jeff a couple of times, so they're gonna kind of see what we're gonna do. Because I said to Lyle, I said, okay, so if we don't do everything, who's gonna pay for that? Is the DPW gonna pay for that, or is the grant money gonna take care of that? That needs to be pretty clear
Right.
to all parties involved. And it was discussed with me that we're not sure who's gonna write that grant, if it's gonna be me or you or the city. And I said, I don't care who writes that grant, whoever writes it, if we can get that money to fix that skate park.
So could you tell us a little bit about this grant?
It's from the Community Foundation, and we thought 10,000, and Jeff said the DPW would do a $5,000 match. And that's where it came in, that they would move it, fix it, and put it back. Because I'm already, in my mind, Reith Riley, Brown, you know, but if Jeff's crew can do that, I'm good with that, as long as it gets done. So we'll, taking baby steps here.
Yeah.
Not
So
sure.
what's the whole plan, Linda, or is it just the asphalt?
It started out as the asphalt. So then when I because I made my husband go up there and help me measure, you know what, because I'm not any good at that either. And he said, you know what, he said, it's gonna sink again. So he suggested moving it concrete and asphalt. So then Lyle and my husband went up there, and then they had a different plan. Linda's plan never works, no matter what Linda says. So Lyle is kind of running with this with Jeff to see what they can do. And I'm just gonna let them guys do it.
Okay.
So
I don't know what the grant procedure writing process is.
So when you say you got the go-ahead from the city to write the grant? Or
no,
yeah.
I don't ever ask anybody for permission.
I don't think you have to ask.
Yeah.
No, you do.
Well, my board approved it. My board
Okay.
approved for us to move forward with
Okay,
this.
okay, that's good.
And Cindy Fuller is my financial lady.
Okay.
So we've all talked about it. She can't help me a whole lot because she worked for them. So I think she feels it's a conflict of interest if she gives me the inside track on any of that. So we've been kind of feeling around our way. And somebody said to me, "Did you tell the city this?" And I said, "Well, not yet." He said, "I figured I'd get it all in place and I would bring it to you and bring it to Jeff. And then, because I can't come to you and say, hey, I think we should do this and have no plan in place.
Right.
I'm a planner. That's how I do things. So maybe I should have started with Jeff or you guys, but I started with my board and we agreed that we should pursue this.
No, that's
So I
great.
talked to my friend.
I do too.
It's a good idea.
Yeah,
Well, what needs to be done?
It needs to be, so in whose vision do you want to know, my vision or the city's vision?
Well,
Because in my vision, I want them to asphalt the whole thing.
why?
Because the ramps are unlevel, they need to be leveled. And I had Marvin up there looking, and he's trying to look under everything. And there's points that hit the ground and points that don't. He said, well, to start with, these need to be supported. Okay, I get that. But he said, if you don't do something besides asphalt, you're gonna be in the same fix down the road.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Yes.
where it sinks in again.
So if we can accomplish that, so it would be a one-time fix,
Right.
and then we would hopefully never have to revisit that again. I know some of the kids wanted to move all that stuff up on the tennis courts, and it's like, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's possible. I think it's just fine the way it is.
Do they like the tennis courts because it is cement, or why do they always keep moving it up there? What's the?
Because they can.
Okay. Why do they like moving it?
They could, if they could get those ramps up there, they would. We have a couple of grinding rails that are cemented right to the ground. We had 2 more grinding rails that are now in that shed because they wouldn't take them off the tennis courts. So I'm kind of bossy up there. I'm the president of the board. I had Sheila recruit 2 young men to move those grinding rails into the shed. And they were like, what'd you do with that? What'd you do that for? Well, because the city's gonna tear that apart and somebody's gonna get mad and you're never gonna see them again because they keep getting in the way. So I took that out of the mix. And I think, didn't they put everything back that they had moved?
They brought everything back that they had taken over. There was several pieces that they had taken over there to use. And it is cement underneath, whatever that material is on top of
The tennis
the
courts?
tennis courts.
Mhm.
But there again, it is all cracked and the weeds, I'm sure you've seen it. And the skate park itself is starting to look like that. There's cracks and
Mhm.
weeds growing.
Yes.
So that's why it's in desperate need
Yes.
of a new floor.
And those kids could really work for North America, the way they move things around. But it's like, come on, you guys, stop it, because you're just hurting yourself. And I think Sheila made them realize that when those 2 grinding rails left. Because hopefully when this is all done next year, because we're shooting for next year, everything will be nailed right to the ground. So if they're not happy with it, then they can go home. They can't move the furniture. No more moving the furniture. So,
What does Ludington have under theirs? I know they have a great skate park by the water.
well,
What are others?
theirs is all cement. Yeah, they don't have any on the ground attached things. Everything is in the ground. It's great. But that would be another whole project. I don't know how much that would, and that's all concrete. And I think Frankfurt has the same thing. Thompsonville has a skate park on top of a tennis court, and those young men spent $5,000 to do it because most of it is wood, but them people love it up there. Them kids come from miles around to do that. So I think here, the more permanent we can make it, the better off everybody is, because then there won't be no moving the furniture.
Safety too, right?
Pardon me?
Safety.
Yes, yes, yeah. Them kids are pretty tough. They do get hurt on those ramps. I think it's because they're all reckless But there again, they're not level anymore neither, so, you know,
Right.
one little lip or anything is gonna send them flying. So that's our intention. We talked about writing a grant before. I've gotten farther this time than I ever have, because this is all above me. I don't know anything about this. But my friend did that for a living, so he kind of knows who to talk to and go where to talk to and everything. So we're way farther ahead. And if the community foundation will give us $10,000 with a $5,000 match from the DPW, I'll come up with the 10% match, the 1,000. So
So are you talking 15,000 total or 10?
I guess so, 15,000 total. I was confused on all that.
Well, usually what they mean by the match is that your total project would be 10,000 with a 10% match, I think is what the foundation expects.
Right, and that would be from
So-
us, from my board.
So if you wanted 15,000, then they'd want, you know,
More than that, right, okay. Well, see, I didn't know that either. I must not have been paying attention in that class when I took that class. But those are my intentions. We're just gonna try to keep walking forward with this, and when Jeff comes back, Lyle will have a conversation with him, and we'll all talk about it and decide.
I know Lyle.
You know Lyle?
You do?
Yes, he's very nice.
Yes, I'm glad he's helping you guys.
Yes.
And, you know, he does know what he's doing. He did it for a number of years.
Yes, and he's very patient with me because I was a bus driver. I'm not a computer person. The things I do well is because I do those things every day. But when we typed all that, can't you cut and paste? I don't know how to do that. I do better if delete it and type it. Because I'm a typist. I took a lot of typing. But he was very kind, and he sat and he showed me how to do it, and we saved it and everything, and it was amazing. It's like, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know all that stuff could happen, because I'm used to deleting it and just retyping it.
Sarah, do you have any input on how she should best go about
So
applying for that?
Just as I'm here, Linda, I can definitely let you know. So it has been received from the foundation. We have a lot of those same questions you all were just asking. And so that's the next step is it's awesome that it's happening, but to try to figure out who works together
Right.
to put it together. Lyle could be the writer for the city with Jeff, the park commission, the Sands Park Control Board will need to be involved because there's that part of Sands
Right.
Park as well. So I am optimistic that these wonderful, smart people can work it out.
I think they
and
will,
we
yeah.
can move to the next step. But
Yeah.
we do have some questions. I did reach out to Jeff as soon as I did receive it, just because we knew the city needed to be involved.
Yes.
So I know that we'll get great people working together, and we'll see if we can consider it.
Right, and that's why, because I didn't talk to anybody other than my board, because to me, I have to say to you, this is my intention. I'm just not gonna come to you and say, hey, will you back me? I want $10,000 to do a few things. You know, I wanted to have a plan to tell Jeff and to tell you and to tell the control board. So that's why I started the way I did. Maybe that's wrong, I don't know.
No, it sounds good.
Yeah? Yeah?
Sarah, are you thinking it's 10 or 5? What would the amount of the grant? Are we thinking 15 or 10,000?
Well, that was a little news to me, so I don't know. I think whatever the need is. And
Okay,
the-
good.
And the intention would be to have a skate park that is usable, strong for the future,
And safe.
safe, you know, all parties involved, and feel like it's, you know, I heard all that too, so it's like all parties involved and feel confident and strong that this is what Manistee needs, so.
I agree.
Yeah, so, you do have to match, you have to come up with matching funds, but you've got a nice group of friends, with the city.
I'm here.
All that, so I would say work together and.
Yes,
and we'll figure it out.
Absolutely. So is there anything else I can tell you?
Good.
No,
I think,
update.
would you like the Parks Commission to write a letter of recommendation or?
Sure.
whatever you
I'll
call
take
it?
any kind of recommendation anybody wants to give me.
Well, I think that might be part of your grant process.
Okay, yeah, and I try to be pretty
Letter of
transparent
support.
with what I do and the things that I tell people. Sometimes I'm wrong, you know, people will say, that's not true, and it's like, okay, then tell me the right way then, because I obviously don't know. So, but that's why I came to you folks to help me out. And that's why I will go to the control board and talk to them also. And Jeff is on board. He seemed kind of excited about this.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
All right, any other public comments? No one? Okay. Approval of minutes from July 18th, 2024. Did everybody have a chance to?
I make a motion.
Approve?
You have a second? Was that a second? All right, motion to approve. The minutes has passed. Correspondence, we have two. One is from Jen Teller, asked if her letter would be read. Is it okay to summarize it, or should I verbatim go ahead and read it through?
I think you can summarize.
Summarize?
Yeah.
Basically, she is interested in the Morton Park parking lot future. She is asking for an update, but Jeff is not here. I had sent him a phone call asking for an update, but obviously that's not gonna happen. So I think we're gonna have to wait until next meeting or sometime in between. Does anyone have any info? Nobody
You know anything,
contact with
Katie?
anyone regarding Morton Park? Okay, I guess we'll do this next time. I'll let Jen know. Jeff was unavailable this time. But we also had a request from the, where did her name go? Tyler Dula from the Manistee Conservation District. She would like us to write a letter of support, supporting a initiative to plant trees, and basically what the Tree Commission is working on, getting rid of invasive species and dead trees and replanting trees along the right-of-way, especially in disadvantaged areas of town. She's asking for a letter of support. She sent us a sample letter with a little, would you please fill in the blanks with your interest and support. And I actually wrote something, if you all want to check out what I wrote, or Lainey, if you want to
Read it?
read it, or if y'all want to, do you want me to read it? I could read it. Then not everybody would have. Read it, Tim.
So you just filled in it a little?
The highlighted areas, I just
Well, I think
wrote
we
in it.
should support planting more trees.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
A word of caution would be, we met with Eric Hummel and we're discussing like various playing fields in the parks and have a master plan of where he's doing a great job, the MRA, and we're gonna be short of playing fields. And the tree's hopefully a 100-year tree that I do think we need to have say where they're planted in the parks, and right now, we can get that
I
plan.
thought she said the right of way.
It is mentioned that it's for the right of
Parks
way.
and right
But I
of ways.
think
But-
it's parks and right-of-ways.
It
I think
is
we just
parks
wanna
and
make
right of
sure,
ways.
'cause Yeah, we had
Yes.
talked
Well,
to the tree commission. And
The
if it's the
suggestion
same
is
field-
that it's possible that it could be implemented in the parks as well.
Oh, okay.
In the parks, we just have a little say where they are, just so they're not like,
Oh, absolutely.
because we'd have a hard time turning
Yeah,
it down.
yeah.
Right, as long as we're able to dictate but have influence in where the
Yes.
trees would go if they end up in the parks, that would be great. Let me just read this out loud.
Sure.
I added the grant project aligns with the Parks Commission's goal to enhance the natural beauty of the environment in areas of the city that may have been underserved. Lining the streets and parkland with trees contribute to the physical health and mental well-being of the citizens who live in these areas, especially those that border industrial areas of town. The Parks Commission stands ready to collaborate with this important effort.
Very nice.
So
Yes, very nice.
if you like it, I can
Nice response.
send it off.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful.
We probably should.
Does anybody make a motion? To accept
Good.
the letter?
I'll make a motion to send the letter of support to the Tree Commission and Conservation District.
Okay.
As presented.
And
Maybe
somebody
add that
seconded.
I second.
It's always on the way to-
Okay.
Yes.
Sean seconded.
Yeah,
Okay. Do we have to vote on that if there's a second?
probably.
All in, yeah, how do you do?
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed. I think that was no one. And after that is the committee reports, starting with,
Everything's looking good. DVW's doing a good job keeping everything up. Fifth Avenue Beach, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but somebody posted a city flag on the flagpole.
I've been down there this week. When did it
No, it
go?
wasn't me.
Oh, okay.
I shall rename,
I love it.
name this, but there actually is that city flag is actually flying. It's probably one of the first city flags flying in a city park in the city of Manistee. So
Now,
that flag.
here, can I?
that's the city flag that we have
Open.
there. So it's
Does
kind of cool. You
everybody
should
know
go
what the
take a
city
look.
flag looks like? 'Cause I'm not
And
sure.
somebody posted up.
Play it, Karen.
Woo-hoo.
Yep, so that's our city flag. I honestly, I went by it and nobody knows how I got there, so it's there.
All right.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty cool. Duffy Park, Karen saw it too. Duffy Park's looking pretty good. Basketball hoops are still up, nets are up, so it's looking clean. Done a nice job, and I'm always really bad at Reds, Samaric. Did I say it right? Clean, looks good. Picnic tables up, trash, it's looking good. So parks are in good condition.
Okay,
Sean?
Sean?
Okay. Not a lot's been done at, is it Wrights Park since I was there, Wrights? Okay. It's clean, but, there's some rot at some posts, the dead tree's still there. There's, trip hazards where sidewalk is up, where trees have heaved up, and that, nothing's been done to grind any of that down. There's still leaves in the play part where the swing sets are, and stuff's growing through that now. And but that's pretty much it there. And just over at Morton, they did mend some of the fence. There's still a little bit of fence that could use it. I noticed that there's on the north part of the basketball area, the earth slopes toward the basketball hoop some, and it doesn't look like some of that grass is taken. Anywhere where water is running down onto the basketball hoop, it hasn't been good for the grass. And I've been noticing, I don't know if because I play basketball over there, and every time they mow, they mow a bunch of, they're running the lawnmower on the court.
Oh, and the debris is all over the
Grass, I might as well bring a broom if I'm gonna shoot hoop, right?
Yeah.
So,
Are there marks too?
oh yeah. And I mean, I kinda get it, but I think that had we set the benches back a little bit further away from the court, that probably would have helped so you could get the whole mower through the front of it. That's one thing. I mean, just some things like that.
Get it.
And then just lastly, if you could either turn up the pressure on the water there, because there's like a little drinking fountain thing, but the water doesn't really shoot out of it at all. It just kind of dribbles out, so it's kind of useless. Like, if you could turn up the pressure so you at least get a face full of water, that'd be cool. But that's it. Otherwise, they look great.
Nice. And Lainey?
So, 9th Street boat launch, the porta potty had supplies, which was nice, but it was kind of dirty. So, it was dirty, not kind of dirty. I did go to Reed's Park and noticed that the bathrooms had been swept and cleaned up and they smelled much nicer. So, thanks to the guys for addressing that. Bathrooms were great at Reed's. I'm wondering if we could get a better garbage can at 9th Street boat launch. It's just the typical drum, and it's like a skunk magnet. And I'm sure at night, those things are tearing it up, and there's probably, but, something with a cover would, I think, be a good idea. And then I noticed there was doggy stuff. And that is a place where people in the neighborhood may take their dogs, and I'm wondering if we can put one of those dog garbage things there.
Oh, that would be nice. Mutt mitt?
Yeah, a mutt mitt, someplace handy so people can see it. And of course, there were people swimming there. Fishing, drawings in their boats, families, it's like... So it's always interesting, but at least the porta potty's still there. It hasn't been abused yet, so I appreciate that for the neighborhood because I see like gangs of kids hanging out down there. So I don't know. Mac Park looked pretty good overall. The bathroom porta potty was nice. There's still a hole in the volleyball net, but it doesn't infringe on its usage, so I don't think I'd worry about it. But that gate is broken. I think we've talked about it before, and
so. Okay.
it's really a safety hazard. Some little kid's gonna have it fall on them yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just sitting there, like on the gate where it's a door, and it's sitting on the fence. And that's it.
Can I ask a question about that building at 9th Street boat launch had some graffiti on it?
Yeah, but that's,
It's gone?
Well, that's not our building.
But who owns it? Can they be I mean, aren't they responsible for
All those buildings down there
maintaining?
have graffiti on it if you drive around them.
Do they? Cause that's,
Yeah.
yeah, that one had, okay,
There's some on the other side. And,
okay.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind of like a part of the city. You know, if you want to revitalize it, the city's going to have to put money in it. You know, you're going to have to develop it like they do in Flint and Detroit. And we did kind of along the Riverwalk in Manistee. You remember how that looked 40 years ago? It's that kind of thing.
I gotcha.
So, you know, there's been no attention paid to that side of town. And that's what you get. Graffiti.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, I guess I'm next with Rotary Park. Took my kids there to play today. It's gorgeous. I mean, it's a great little park. There was a family there picnicking. I asked their feedback on the parks. They were local. They said they had no feedback. They loved the shade structure and they thought it was brand new. So all was good there. The only thing I noticed is there's weeds. Like, is there any kind of weed control we can do in the cracks of between the sidewalks and the walk around and, under the pad on the pad where the picnic tables are? I don't know if is there like I don't want to put Roundup in the parks, but some kind of weed control would be nice just to make it look nice. But otherwise, it's a great little park and everything looks really good. And disc golf, beautiful. 7 to 8 people were playing when I was over at Lighthouse Park with the kids today. Couple of dogs too, but it looks great. No issues at all. It's beautiful and people seem to love it. And Lighthouse Park, I noticed a few things, and I was just gonna say the wood is really weathered on all of that, but I would hesitate to even stain it or anything unless you have to preserve it because it's such a beachy, like weathered feel to it. Does it have to be preserved or protected, or can it just, it's really natural and pretty. But, and some of the painted areas look like they've been recently painted. I wanted to ask Jeff.
They were.
Were they? There were a couple that I think still need a little touch up. But yeah, it looked really nice. The baby swing there, though, one of them is really warped. It's the blue one. There's one blue and one black. It's just kind of, I wouldn't want to put my baby in there. It's kind of dirty, kind of warped, kind of ripped in spots. And if we can get a new one, that would be really nice. And the picnic tables in the back of Lighthouse Park, they're kind of an octagon shape. The really massive ones, the tables are not level. One of them was kind of like this. I don't know if it's not on a cement pad, but can it be just kind of, you know, tilted up? I don't know. And other than that, it's just, you know, a couple benches in the back there might be kind of nice. There are a couple wooden ones near the swings, but around that walking path. And an extra garbage can in the back. I noticed a lot of like people were leaving water bottles and coffee cups in random places through the park, and I kind of tried to pick them up and throw them away. But the only garbage is up at the front by the parking lot, and it might help if there was another option. So, sorry, that was a lot, but
No.
that was it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, Liz.
Had the fish cleaning first, stopped there, and last night you could hardly get in.
It was
So it
during the
is
day.
so used. So I'm gonna say things, but it's not because someone's not doing the jobs, because it is so used, but it's gotta be probably gone through at least twice a day right now, and maybe it is, but the bathrooms need attention, like that hand dryer, and they're what do you call them, co-ed bathrooms, so that always makes them a little dirtier to me. They seemed, the toilets needed cleaning, the hand thing, you would not put your hands in there, the dryer. The hand dryer needs like those white, Mr. Clean sponges. It needs a thorough cleaning. It's
But
and the mirror, it was just.
this is the bathroom at the
This is
fish.
the bathroom. There's 2 bathrooms at the fish cleaning station. And the problem with that is, it's not just the fishermen that use that, it's the people walking the river walk, it's people renting the Lions Pavilion, because we just got the 1 portage on there. So those bathrooms, even though the fishermen are down there, and then there was just 1 trash can, and of course, you know, the fishermen are putting in, next to it was a great big bag of cans, they're leaving their garbage.
Bench trails.
So it was bad. And then there's the fish gut buckets. And, when I was there, they put the spawn in there, and some guy came and got spawn for his, son, which was really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nice to have that handy, he was so
Yes.
thankful. But the outside of the buckets, and I know how hard they are to keep clean, but it's nasty. I mean, I think we need power washing down there, and, it's nice that we offer it, but just because we offer it doesn't, it should be better.
Right.
Now,
Keep
the
it
fish cleaning things were pretty clean, so the people are at least cleaning them, and the DPW is keeping it clean. And I know it's hard to, but I think that really needs attention. And the fishing season is still here. We could make a better impression than we are, you know. And we are charging those people, we're charging the Lions Pavilion people, and we are charging the boat launching people. So there should be some fees, we should just, twice a day would be nice there. Then the Lions Pavilion, it looks like they took the tables out, but I don't know where they put them. They must have hauled them somewhere. Half the tables are gone in the side closest to the channel. And when Tim had his class there, I think we thought that there was 4 lights missing, but it looks like just 2 lights up above. When we put the lights on, 2 lights are missing, and 7 screens, I believe, are missing. And the windows need a thorough wash.
Yeah.
The windows are dirty, and we're running that out. It could be a wedding, a family reunion, and you look out the windows because it's all views. So the windows need washing. It is showing somewhere, like the posts, and I don't know if you can paint that stuff. It's like a Trex post, but it's been, I don't know if people are putting the picnic tables in it, but there's white chips. It needs, you know, because there's nice events held there and we are getting money, I think we should keep that up.
Yeah, I would agree. Since that's a rental for the city and we're renting it, it should be a top condition.
Yes.
I mean, we got the money, we got the funds for it, let's just,
Yeah,
Make
and you
it-
shouldn't have to power wash it and clean it when you rent it. I mean,
right.
we're not charging much, but it's still.
Well, like the memorial that was gonna be there.
Exactly.
It was an embarrassing condition for the
Yes,
people,
it
they have to,
was.
and they were talking about having to come and clean it themselves. They should be
Yes.
ready for it.
Yes,
If-
and that happened to be a lion, and I felt that. Porta-John was not bad. The flag there, and a veteran has not mentioned it yet, it is really tattered, which you can't help because it's right there, but you know,
That big one?
I would be willing to just cut, if you cut this much off, you're not gonna notice the difference in size, and just sew, and I would sew it if we got it down, just, still save it. Just sew it, and get rid of the fray, it would look, brand new, it'd buy you probably 2 years, you know, but the flag should not be tattered.
Right.
So that's the Lions Pavilion. I think we have enough chairs, we're getting enough. My only suggestion would be, maybe we, and I know that's a hard thing, because maybe they're promised that they would be there, but it would be nice. We have that one fire pit there, but we have, the secondary fire pit is down there by that lookout. And I think it would be used if we put 4 chairs around it. So,
I think that's the plan.
okay, we should move it then, we should get the chairs there. And I don't know if we need 4 more, or if we could move.
I think we're planning on the 4, adding 4.
Okay. Okay. So that would look nice, and the sooner, that would be nice. And then, the First Street Beach. The beach is nice, and it's been so used. The beaches have been really, really good used. So there again, it's the usage, but the bathroom, there's a lot of sand in the changing station, which is normal, but I don't know, they need to be blown out, they need to be cleaned. It's, the bathroom should be a little bit more deep clean. You know, we still got part of the season left, I would say, that the bathrooms.
And that's concession stand people that are supposed to do that. I think that's a part of their contract.
It's supposed to be in it.
Yeah, it's supposed to clean it.
But that's a big area to clean, you know, they got the ledge there, they got the bathrooms, that's a huge part to clean. But, it does need it. So I guess that's it.
Nice job, Liz.
Okay. John?
Oh, my next?
That's you.
That's, North Beach, looks great. There were 13 cars on the lot the other day when I was over there. Doggy bags were full, ready to go, you know, for people to pick up the doggy. Nicely mowed all around. In the walk, the cement walk to the boardwalk, everything was looking good there. couple of willows maybe on the left-hand side, south side of the walk at some point. Boardwalk. The first two 2x4s on the south rail are gone, so those need to be replaced. The joints need to be tightened. About halfway down to the deck, somebody put in magic marker, little graffiti message there. And I think we ought to get rid of that as soon as possible, because at the end of the boardwalk, near the deck, there's a lot of graffiti, and I think we ought to try to, we're not going to prevent that, kind of like Laney said, it's just part of the city. But if we don't want to let it creep into the rest of it, so we want to get rid of that one. I think that's important.
For too long.
There was a new board on the deck, I noticed. There's one missing plank on the deck wall. Not a big deal, it's more aesthetic than anything else. Veterans, amphitheater, the floor needs to be stained. I don't know how much of the amphitheater on the Veterans Boardwalk is going to be included or not, but, pardon?
I don't think any, right?
No? Okay. Well, it looks pretty good, but the floor, it would be nice if it would be stained, restained. And then that group of bronze plaques, there are some flower beds around them, and they're looking a little seedy and those kind of things. My own preference would be to just get rid of them and mow the grass. And then there's one that's for the veterans, and I think the garden club takes care of that one. Let them take care of it, and the rest of them just put grass around it. Okay, that's just an opinion, but let's see, the parking lot, there are a few weeds in the lot, but otherwise looks good. And then, excuse me, right at the junction between the beginning of the Riverwalk and where it meets the street there's a kind of a, like a patio setting. And it's really looks pretty seedy. It's something that could give a much better impression, separate from the Riverwalk, which we know is going to be completely redone. I assume that would be redone as well, but that would be something that we could do that would help the appearance of it and give you a better feel about the place. Let's see. Oh yeah, Sands. Went over there. Oh, and now that I'm thinking about bathrooms, the bathroom at the North Beach was good. I don't recall if there was hand cleaner there. At Sands, the outhouse was good. No hand cleaner there. And I thought at some point painting the front doors of the building would be nice, give a good impression. And then I also, who's the lady that was there today? Is that
Cindy Sheethelm.
What's that?
Cindy Sheethelm.
Okay. Well, I mentioned to you the last time, we'll set up a time and we can get some kids to volunteer and we can do some maintenance on the landscaping in front of the building. And I thought maybe at the same time we could put on some nice paint in the front, maybe replace some of those signs that are in the window there. Again, just giving a nice first impression, that's, and then I wasn't that critical about the skate park. I think it's a good thing for the kids, obviously, and if we need to do something to make it work better, but overall, I think it looks really good.
Okay, Karen.
Okay, softball diamonds, the northeast, softball diamond, I know Jeff told me what he calls it. I called it Diamond One, but I'm gonna call it the northeast. The spectator bench wood has been replaced. I know we spoke about that. It looks like some more wood will be replaced. Hopefully it'll be, painted. It could use a late season, weed whack around the fence line, inside and out, just, to clean it up a little bit. On the southwest, southwest diamond, that guard, the fence guard, is broken and cracked. So if you were to lean on it, you could, the plastic might cut your skin. There was dried vegetation on the cement pads under the players' benches. If we could, the trash can is over near the parking lot. Is there a way we could move it closer to the diamonds? And I think that would help. There was a little, they leave stuff on the bench, and I understand that because there's no garbage can there. But I thought maybe that would help with that. Public restrooms were in order. They look good. Man-made, the porta-john was moved to the east shore access off of the parking lot. And it was roped down. Do you know anything about that? Was it blown away or something?
No.
Or do they do that so the kids don't knock it over?
Not sure. And
Huh.
man-made?
Yeah,
Hmm.
that was interesting. And the parking area was clean. Now, I did not get to the Arthur Street today, and I'm sorry about that. But I did notice that the vegetation, the volunteer vegetation, was all removed out of the wall, and it looks awesome. So now we don't, I was worried about the cracking of the, the mortar and stuff in between, because as it grows, it just cracks. But that's all I pretty much got today. Everything looks pretty clean, though. I got to tell you, the crew is really knocking it out this year. And I really appreciate all the efforts.
Yes.
Everything is looking top notch,
And it's
other than the small things that we're mentioning right now. Absolutely.
All set? Aaron's good. Okay, Jeff's not here. Katie, did he tell you anything to pass along tonight? Not a thing?
No,
Okay.
sorry.
All right, he's a big part of our agenda tonight. Okay, so I guess we move on to events and programming. Karen, do you or Lainey want to throw out anything about that?
Well, we finished story time in the parks for the season. The last event, building sandcastles at First Street, didn't have much attendance, but the people were there, had fun. But I think overall it was a hit, and we're looking forward to doing it next year. So,
Got some good publicity on it.
Yes, we had as many as, I think 54 was the most we had at the rock painting, and
Wow.
our lowest, I think, was 4.
Yeah.
So that was the final one.
yeah.
So-
On that one, it does help, and I was in Canada, the day and 2 days before, I have always gone door to door with flyers and all the other ones. And I think that we need
I
to
think
keep
so.
doing that. Like at the
Right.
condos, Harbor Drive, even at the beach, I think that next year we gotta make sure on everyone we assign
Well,
door to door canvassing.
There were a couple glitches with
There were.
the library forgot their sign in. It was in a difficult location. People couldn't find us, including Karen.
Oh, no.
Concession stand, where are you guys?
Well, Angie from the library did say that in August, all of her attendance drops off. So the same thing happened last summer where the first week of August, our story time had
People are on vacation.
4 or 6 kids at the August. So we might
People
just
go to
not
vacations.
do it in August next year if we continue. Keep them front loaded in the early summer. So I think people are thinking school already. Once you hit August, it's
Yeah.
a little less leisurely, but,
So,
do you want to talk about Art Drop?
yes, so I've already received the piece of art that we're gonna use for Art Drop this year. Manistee Art Institute graciously offered a piece of artwork for this year's Park Art Drop. It is by the artist Charlie Gans, and he is from Manistee, and it's a 3D art piece. And I do have it tonight, and I'll be passing it off to you.
I brought your token in case
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
has seen the tokens
Okay.
that we plant in the
Yeah,
parks.
so these are the tokens that we hide in an envelope, just so in case. So it looks like this, it's on a piece of wood, which is a nod to our history. And people seem to like these and use them for coasters, I guess, after. So this is our little token that we hide, and.
Is that token reused, or they keep it when they find it?
They
Well,
both
I've been
asked to
making them
keep.
every time, yeah, because they've been asking to keep them.
Right, I think in the direction I said, exchange it at City Hall for your art prize, but everyone's so far asked to keep.
Yeah, because I was hoping I only had to do one and it would revolve, right?
Yeah.
It's all good though. It's all good.
That's a compliment.
Yeah. Oh, so we're all ready to go with that.
Yes.
Yes.
I
So-
just have to have a little bio and I can.
Yes, and I have the bio with me. Because it's 3D, there's a video that goes with it, but I don't have that yet. They're gonna give that to me. But I do have the art piece and the bio of the artist.
Thank you.
So, yeah, we're moving along.
For August 28th, 29th, and 30th. right
Okay.
before Labor Day.
There you go, thank
Since
you.
the official Art Drop International Day is the day after Labor Day, but that's the first day of school for kids, and I thought people would be busy with other things.
And so what are the dates?
August 28th through 30.
29th and 30th. So we're doing the two
Yeah.
questions a day.
2 clues a day.
I love it.
For 3 days.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll wait a little longer to find it.
Yeah.
Be a little more cryptic with the clues, so they can't quite get it.
Before I go on to my next, I was going to talk about the kickball a little bit. Were you repaid money that was owed to you from, I think, a fund, right?
Oh, for the events, I did not submit receipts to Jeff. I was gonna talk to him. That's on our agenda for tonight, but he is not here.
Okay. So I just wanted to, yeah, make sure that we're,
How we get reimbursed. for
shoring up and
events.
being reimbursed. Okay, just out of that.
We'll do that next time.
Adult kickball is on the schedule again. They have 3 teams committed. They're looking for additional teams. It's going to run September through October. If you have interest in having a team, Sean, contact the MRA and they will give you the information, on how to sign up and everything.
What are they requiring for a donation to sign up? Is there a fee?
No, there is a fee if you sign up separate, without a team, and there's, I think it's $90 for a team.
For a team.
And then you supply your own T-shirts. But I think it's $25 if you just sign up and you want to be placed on a team. And I believe the T-shirt comes with that, but they could give you more information.
What are they playing? Certain days, time?
Wednesdays. I believe the last day to sign up is the 26th of August. It begins in September, and I'm sorry, the date evades me. But it goes like 6 weeks is what they're planning on.
Will the MRA put something in the paper?
They
Because-
did.
There was just an article this
Just
week.
today, yes.
Oh, okay.
So they are recruiting a team. So if you know anybody that's interested, please send them that way.
So what's a team, 9?
10 to 14 players, I believe is
And then what time are they playing on Wednesday?
they usually play between 5:30 and I want to say 8:30.
Oh, 8.
And in that time frame. And last year they had a social hour, which they're looking forward to doing this year. So after each game, somebody from the community steps up and offers a discount drink, something along those lines to, and you don't even have to have a team in the league. It's just something to, have the team go over and support some of our.
So is it all of September and all of October?
No, it'll be middle of September to the middle of October. 6 weeks, kinda. Yeah, I'm sorry about the dates.
No, you're fine.
Too many dates in my head here.
I'll send you a link to the article.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's it.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Marina history, Mark Federer was still willing to do the marina history talk for us, but his summer is very busy, so I'm gonna get back with him after, I believe in September, once he slows down a little bit and check his schedule. So, and then stargazing, again, we have no astronomy-based person at the moment to carry out those. And I don't think anybody's done anything on movies or family game night.
No, we kind of ran into a roadblock because of licensing, and then the Vogue was kind of like interested, and then they kind of weren't interested, and there's actually a lot involved in that to make it work well, to be honest with you. So I think it's still a viable option. It just needs a little bit more energy and kick-started. But I think if we could probably try to get that going for 2025.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think it'd be a good draw,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a lot. You have to do the right projector, the right sound system. I mean, basically you have to
You wanna
rent
get it
that
all.
stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be quite a bit.
Okay. Maintenance, we have Liz and myself. Do you want to mention any maintenance?
Well, I think we kind
Issues?
of covered it in the park report.
kinda
so,
did.
And that's
Yeah.
basic maintenance. I think we're doing good.
Okay, and Jeff's not here to update us. Do you have any updates, Katie, on the marina lights, the ones that aren't
I
working?
didn't hear anything.
Okay, anything on capital improvements, John or Lainey?
Nope.
Well, Laney and I met about a year ago. And,
Where's the-
well,
With Kelly.
I think, I feel as though we've come through the tunnel and we're seeing the light there with the maintenance. That was our that was my main concern after seeing what was going on and listening to people. And the biggest concern was the Riverwalk, because that looks so awful. And one of the biggest things that's happened is that we've gotten those grants to redo the Riverwalk. So that takes a lot of pressure off the city. And we need to still have a plan for how we're going to maintain that once it's in place. And so some of the thoughts that I spent a lot of time reviewing past financials and all this stuff, and had some ideas that I think were wrong-headed. And I have some ideas now that I'd like to explore. And so putting the capital improvements and budget on the agenda in the future isn't gonna be helpful.
No, okay. Take those off. Okay, senior softball, is there anything?
Well, then, I think, we had a meeting since we did our training last with the senior softball team, no? We had, I mean, basically every single member participated over at the Lions Pavilion. It was really well received, had a lot of fun. Taught them how to, they had purchased a defibrillator for their team, so we went over how to do CPR correctly and how to use the defibrillator, but yeah, they got a lot out of it. We're about 2 hours, Liz, I think we were there all
I was
together.
about to say, Tim did an amazing job, and I've taken CPR. That was a class that the community needs to, first of all, he was complimenting the parks, but I've never, I think will save lives.
Oh, yeah.
But Tim did it so engaging, and it was so informative and engaging. It was the quickest 2 hours, and then you actually did it, and there was peer pressure because your score was up on that. He had the thing, he had the mannequin, and and you had to get the high score. You were like the CPR dropout. Amazing, and the time flew by, and everybody there,
They didn't want to leave.
they didn't want to leave.
Like, you gotta go.
And then we had pizza afterwards. It was like so worthwhile that we should open that up to more if Tim would do it, because.
I would be willing to do monthly trainings at the Lions Pavilions and open up. I mean, as you guys noticed, you saw it in the paper, they're charging $75 to $100 per person.
And it wouldn't be entertaining.
And we would honestly do it on behalf of the Parks Commission. I don't charge for that services. The only charge I would do is, they charge $20 a card if they wanted a certification card. So it's pretty minimal, but our time, be kind of cool. I'd be willing to do that on behalf of the Parks Commission. But I think you get a huge participation,
I do
to
too.
be quite honest with you. So
You have
we'd
to limit
fill up
the
that
numbers.
pavilion.
Very
You know,
nice.
we would.
Is it limited in number, how many you can do at one time?
I would say we'd want to limit how many people can fit in the Lions Pavilion comfortably. So 50, and it would easily fill out 50, and people realize that there's no charge for it, they would take advantage of that. But I think it'd be kind of cool to sponsor it. It's kind of cool to be able to give back a gift that we have. So I'd be more than happy to do that for you guys. So I think we should start school. Yeah, we could do CPR 1 month and we could do first aid the next month. So each session's about 2 hours, and then if they attend both sessions, they'd be certified in both. So it'd be a good incentive.
How long are the certifications good for? 3 and 5?
2 years.
2 years?
And you're talking American Red Cross. That's
Yeah, I'm
years.
talking Red Cross, yeah. No, that's it.
Yeah, they're 3 years for first aid and 1 year for CPR.
Okay.
But thank you, Liz. That was very nice of you.
Yeah, but that's awesome, Tim. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fun.
Okay, next is Duffy Park concessions.
It was an idea, wasn't
That's an
it?
idea. Actually, Liz and I talked to Eric Thummel today, and I brought it up again to him, and he was very excited about the idea of volunteer groups just coming in during soccer matches Saturday mornings and such.
Have you gone over there? Is it feasible? Is it workable?
We peeked in the windows today, and it's filled up with DPW equipment. I think it's DPW type parks. Yeah,
Paint sprayers
so they
or
would need to
something.
move those out. In fact, Eric said that if I wanted to bring over some water bottles and Gatorade and sell, he would give me the key. Or, but it's not
Would we
usable
do
right
it
now.
as a profitable thing for the Parks Commission? The profits would go towards that, or?
Well, my son is a senior, and he said, "Mom, you got to get on that committee for Grad Bash and make us some money." And so I think he said he would be willing. He's on student council. He'll bring the idea to the classmates.
Because
and see if
nobody
they
runs
want
anything
to,
out of there, right? And
No,
such-
it's
so many
empty.
people.
other than the
Yeah.
equipment. Yes, and
Get a popcorn machine, get
Yeah.
just some basic little
popcorn
stuff.
or those little world's finest candy bars or
Right.
water, Gatorade, just something simple.
When are we losing the time to do that? I mean, what's their busiest time over there at Duffy Park?
Saturdays, right now Saturdays, I think.
Till how
possibly
long?
Thursdays.
To
It's
fall?
only 6 weeks for this group of soccer, and then the travel team starts up, and they are 3 nights a week practice plus Saturday games, half at home, half away.
Till
So
Saturdays.
It's really from now all the way through mid-October,
Yeah.
and I don't think there's anything until spring.
It'd be kind of fun to put something together. It's not, it wouldn't be that
Let the other
difficult.
group run it though. I
Yeah.
I don't think that we have to
Instead of
run it.
us.
I kind of like the idea of the kids running it, it teaches them something and lets them make some money, and I think you could make quite a bit of money. You buy
Oh,
that
for sure.
candy
People
bars cheap.
forget water
And
bottles
the
too all the
water
time.
and
Yeah.
a cup of coffee at a soccer game for the parents.
When it
I buy
gets-
coffee.
Make it reasonable. Hot dogs.
Reasonable
Yeah. I
hot
think-
dogs, coffee or a
There's
muffin or
any way
something
to-
in the morning.
Cook in there at the moment.
Well, you have to be careful with the cooking, because then you have to get ServSafe certified. and
Yeah,
stuff.
you'll have to have
Yeah.
service training. to,
Yeah,
certify
so I don't
about
know,
that.
you
It might be
know,
some safe, that safe surf, a lot of people have that.
yeah, they do,
Yeah,
but,
ServSafe.
you know, that's another
Another one.
thing,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just do like the wrap granola bars and stuff.
Right.
yeah.
But anyway, that is an option if we
I
want
think
to
that's a
do
great
it
idea.
for it. He was very excited.
I think so, absolutely. Yeah, 100% behind that. You offer something, nothing's there now, so.
And it could be this Saturday if you want to go over there, but you'd have to stand on the equipment in the room.
No.
Okay. Memorials?
I did a draft, and I didn't hand it to everybody because I understand Liz and Laney met. Am I correct on that?
We're gonna,
Discussed it. Okay. Anyways, I did a form where I took information, of course, again off the
internet.
internet. Thank you. Off of the internet. I got my hands going. The internet, and kind of squashed it together, thinking that this is stuff that maybe could be used. It could also have an attached list of items that we offer and the price, and you could, just keep updating the list and attaching it to it. It's got a lot of information on it. Some of it could be used, some of it doesn't have to. It's a draft. I just thought some direction would be helpful. And I didn't realize that the city has one, so I mean, maybe the two of them could be meshed together.
Yeah.
I guess on that line, you know, we've talked about this in the past, that we're running out of chairs to be memorialized. So what's the next thing to put on the list to memorialize? And I know we talked about swings, we talked about benches, we talked about the basketball hoops. Anybody else have any other ideas?
Well, we're not really running out of chairs, we're running out of places to put the chairs. We can still add chairs.
No, there could be too much of a good thing.
Right,
We're
right.
reaching that.
But-
Right,
yeah.
right.
Are there more going in at Fifth Avenue though? Because if there's only 2 over there, is there a
First,
place?
I think Jeff said just a few, maybe 5 or 6 in that section, wherever they're at Fifth Avenue. I haven't seen them yet.
A partial.
People like memorial benches, I don't know. What other?
Because we don't give them another offering. I mean, there's so, we have enough, I think, chairs. I think we've got to
How about
come up with
mitt mutts,
something better.
or mutt mitt?
Yeah,
How about a mutt mitt station, or a,
tetherball.
Yeah,
You know?
or a tetherball, yeah.
Or a baby swing, like a really nice
Yeah,
one.
or a
We
big-
don't really have one in town, like, a lot of towns have the bucket ones where the kids are really a safe swing. We just have that little one you just drop them in.
What about the one the moms and the babies sit in together? Have you seen
Yeah,
that?
those are
Yeah.
cute, where they
A
sit,
really nice
I like where the
baby
baby's in front of the,
Mhm.
yeah,
And you might not be able to buy the whole thing, but if you had like three.
two or three
names
people on it,
Yeah,
sure.
3 people on it.
What about bricks, like the cobbles, like, I'm just thinking in front of the
Right,
houses,
no,
so,
that would, bricks are really cool.
you know,
Do we have a bricked walkway somewhere in town?
No.
Then,
just the octagon looking pavers that are like in front of the Elks and maybe
I like that
Tucanos
idea.
down there, that's,
yeah,
yeah.
good idea.
like that
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, there you go.
So what's the
Yeah,
purpose
the
of
fish.
this? Just to accommodate people that wanna set up a
But
memorial?
it adds to the city,
Yeah,
Well, I understand
Yeah.
that, but I
and
mean,
they want to, yeah.
as opposed to a specific goal of establishing, some capital improvement.
Right.
So this is just generally to accommodate people who wanna donate some money
Something
and,
that's tangible that their parents or
yeah,
someone's name is on.
in honor of memory.
we have a memorial committee
I think that's Liz.
and
Lee
develop
or Liz-
it, you know, I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
We're trying.
yeah.
okay.
Liz and Karen.
There, don't, yeah.
So this is new? This is something we're suggesting?
well,
That
for-
is just something I threw together, you guys. If you got the draft in front of you, yes.
What do you
I
think,
don't know
John?
what that
Is
is.
that, I think a capital improvement.
Yeah, maybe that should be part of the.
oh, is this your
Improvement.
plan, right here? For the-
I mean, I've got another one for you guys.
Oh.
I just don't want to be confusing.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that what
Give
we're
you
talking
one,
about
you
right now?
have
'Cause
some.
okay. Thank you.
You've got one?
That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. Okay.
I started handing them out.
Oh, okay, all right.
I like the option on there of- as far as giving, once the memorial becomes in bad shape, that you give the family another option to replace it.
I do too. That is
You
pretty
know,
cool.
versus,
in
I
there.
mean,
Exactly.
because if you dedicated something to a family member and you go there to look at it and all of a sudden it's gone, it's been replaced with somebody else's, that's pretty personal, so.
But, yeah,
But hopefully they keep that contact, that record to be able to do something
well,
like
that's that's addressed in there too, yeah, so you don't lose.
for
them.
future,
And currently, that's what's now done. It's forever.
right.
So that's the practice right now.
There's also, I just put lines in there. Some of the ones I was reading were 5 years, 7, and 10 years, so I didn't put anything in them. But there's blank lines in there if you decide, like if it should be 5 years, 7 years, whatever.
Is this
Moving
something
forward.
that we would need to present to city council? I mean, it's a city policy, right?
I would imagine at some point, yeah,
I don't know if it's a city
Yeah.
policy or if it's just through the DPW, truthfully.
yeah, that could be.
So wait and ask Jeff.
Yeah,
Okay. That's really nice, Karen. Thank you.
yeah, no issue. I just, just thought of some stuff that maybe would be helpful.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Do you have anything, Karen, on Spirit of the Woods Garden Club Reeds Park?
Yeah, I do, and this is a big thing, you guys. Lainey had made a comment at our last meeting, I think it was, about Reeds Park and the circular pool that was there. And we were talking about maybe the garden club might be interested in adopting it.
And there's that big
Something.
rock that's
Yes.
kind of in left field and kind of probably a plow hazard. And somehow being able to incorporate that
Yes.
as a spirit of the
Back
woods.
into the, well, my next door neighbor is the second vice president of the garden club. She was, she didn't know where the park was, blah, 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 blah. The next thing you know, she goes to a meeting on Monday, and she presents to her board that they would like to adopt the park and bring it back to its original garden and treed area, you guys. And I was flabbergasted. I go, what are you talking about? She says,
that's cool.
we would like to adopt that park as a garden club and bring it back to its former glory of being, yes. It blew
I know,
my
it's really
mind, yes. So I was like, okay, I like this idea, right,
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting that at all. They would like to restore the pool as it was, the fountain as well.
Wow.
as a water feature? Or?
Yes. So, because she said right away, she said, well, we didn't like the idea of the fountain, you know, not that they didn't like the idea, they were entertaining the garden area. But then all of a sudden it morphed into this.
They're thinking like, because it was Victorian gardening.
More is gonna come to us, you guys. I would like to say what she said to me. She said, the Spirit of the Woods Garden Club is excited to partner with the City of Manistee Parks Commission, the City of Manistee, the Parks Commission, and community members to move forward with the plan for Reed's Park. That's all she said to me. And then she got into this part. The collaborative effort works towards this common goal, and it's to make the Manistee community the best it can be while maintaining its historical significance and restoring this historical site for recreation and pleasure for the people of Manistee.
Wow.
That's something. That blew me
That's really
away.
good, yeah.
This is quite an offer, you guys.
That's huge.
It is huge. And then I was thinking, after you sent out that, to remove the trees, plant the trees, this could be something that is shoe-in for this project right here. And it's gonna take a village and a community and a county and the whole shebang here to pull this off, I think. But we are a pulled-together city, and we got a lot of grit, and we got a lot of tenaciousness, and I believe this can happen. Woo!
Like we said,
Yeah.
that was the entrance to Manistee. So
Yeah.
This is really cool, you guys. I am just, yes.
Take it.
Catherine, you mentioned
Run.
she was
How big a garden are we looking?
She already went over to Mark Feder. I went over to Mark Feder first. I got some information. She was curious. She goes, well, you're talking about the 15. She didn't know where the park was. Here's how this started. And so we were trying to figure out where to hide the token. I said, well, if she doesn't know where Reed's Park is, somebody else doesn't know where Reed's Park is, right? So that's how this all happened. So I gave her the sheet that I had on Reed's Park that I printed off of with all the history of it and everything. She loved it. She loved the native plantings. She loved the trees. She loved it all. And so did her club. So they're willing to work with us and to bring that back to its former glory. And I am just excited as all get out to even report this to you guys.
I can't tell.
I told her, I said, you're gonna make me cry, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so the art drop is made to bring people into our parks and to let them know about our parks. This is one of those examples where happenstance, it works in mysterious ways. So that's where we're at with this. And I would love to think we can move, I want to say that we're moving forward with this program, I hope. So that's where we're at.
You know, somebody's gonna have to put Jeff in the loop
Yeah.
and how he wants to proceed.
Absolutely, please,
And,
yes.
You know, I don't see any native. I mean, there's a hole now, like where that dead tree is that Sean mentioned. There could be more trees there. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, because there's not gonna be a plane. We have,
and that would,
there's not gonna be a playing field there.
yeah, go along
Exactly.
with
It's
the
not-
tree commission thing, but
That would be great.
the tree commission thing, they wanna collaborate with.
And, well, listen,
the
we're gonna
spirit
need
of the
all the
laws.
commissions to
Yeah.
work on this, including the, what we just said about, the Manistee Conservation District. This could be
Right.
something that they would step right into. They could remove what needs to be removed and replant what needs to be replanted.
Well, what would be nice
Yeah.
is the front part of the field, you know, by Vine Street. Maybe not necessarily plant that, but make it a wildflower prairie for native plants. Then the city doesn't have to mow it anymore.
No.
You know, the conservation district, if we could do more of that kind of thing, it saves, after the first couple years, you don't have to really do much with
Right,
those.
right, exactly.
And, you know, that's an ideal location, and it'd probably be beautiful.
This could take us to a historic renovation, national type thing too. This has got a lot of working parts to it that could be a total,
A lot of recognition.
a lot of recognition for everybody here. And I think it's just awesome. Like I said, I'm just too
Well, and
overwhelmed with it.
when I think about it,
Yeah.
you know, the trees that are on the Manistee Lake side, you can't see the lake. And if they trimmed them,
There
you'd
you
see
go.
the lake too. Although I think you're looking at Martin Marietta.
It's okay.
But, you know, it is Manistee,
It's okay,
so,
it's Manistee.
yeah, yeah.
It's exciting, Karen. Very cool.
Yeah, this is exactly what we should be doing, folks.
Exactly.
Right.
Here we are, we have a project that's coming to us, and this is just, and it's because of our efforts of
Yes.
what we've been doing. So it's
That's cool.
where we want to be
Right.
with these kind of things. So they're coming to us now and saying what they'd like to do inside the parks. That is awesome.
I just gotta say that I think that's one of the great strengths of our Parks Commission, not to toot our horn, but how we can go out and collaborate with different organizations
Absolutely.
in town and bring ideas all and build off each other, and that's,
And that's the only way we're gonna make it here, yeah, is if we're all working together towards things. And I think this could be a civic, type pride, project for everybody to buy into. So, there we are with that. So I just wanted to put that up.
I know nobody wants to follow Karen except maybe Karen, so follow yourself.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, I had this crazy idea while I was driving down to Florida. I know me and John were down in Florida about the same time, and so I couldn't get it out of my head. So it is this logo here, and the only reason why I thought of a logo is because the police redid their logo last year, if I'm correct, and the firemen redid their logo last year. Well, we didn't even have a logo to redo. So I came up with this crazy idea, and I couldn't get it out of my head. I have a friend that is a graphic artist. I gave her the drawing, and she took it from there. And I asked her for positive and negative, and very simple. And I said, we have to incorporate the city logo, which we did. So I gave her like the sketch, and she took it to this. So as you can see Manistee's on the outside of the P, Manistee's on the inside of the P. This is something we do not have to use at all. I would love for somebody else to step up and provide us with an idea. This is, just to get the ball rolling, this is what I got.
I like it.
I think it's, to create our own logo and our own identity is a nice thing.
I do too.
Seems like a lot,
It's all that way.
I do too.
seem a lot of.
There has to be a process with the city.
Absolutely, yes, this is just a draft, they might not like it at all, and I'm hip to that, so we're all good.
So I guess I don't know what the exact process would be. So
Does
I
anybody?
imagine our next step would be to
Find out.
find out probably with Jeff as the point guy, how he wants to proceed.
And you know, this would be something that we'd add to our tokens from here on out. We'd have, you know what I'm saying, so that it identify. So when you see something like that, you know, oh, it's a park set. You know, it's a park commission.
Or when we're having
yeah,
story hours, the library
exactly.
put theirs out, it'd be nice to
Exactly.
put, or in a work project or whatever, it'd be nice to put a sign out, just to, that you put in the ground temporarily.
And I noticed this doesn't say commission, so it could be Parks Commission. it could
Absolutely, yeah,
be
absolutely.
Parks
It's just
Department.
Manistee Parks, yes. In general, that's all of us working together towards this, yes.
That's nice.
So that's that.
Thank you.
And I couldn't get it out of my head, so now it is.
I like it. So old business, this was kind of for Jeff with the Seeds Volunteer Project. Katie?
Look at Katie, look at you, got nothing
Do
to
you know
give.
anything about the Seeds volunteers that offered to, do we have a date or a project for them yet? No idea.
Because we threw some stuff out.
We did, ideas like painting, do you remember this?
Yeah. How did that,
Yeah, we had talked about painting the equipment at First Street Beach, and
Right.
Jeff was gonna try to coordinate a date and project,
Yeah.
nothing? Okay, all right, we'll
better
follow
find
up with
out.
that.
yeah, because the Seeds kids go back to college
Right.
usually. We might have missed that.
Okay, the other, Karen, this is back to you.
Yeah.
You're all over the place. Parks project proposal form, was that kind of the same thing as your memorial
No.
form, or is there a different?
No, they're two different forms. One is just gonna be used by this commission, so we know that what's going on, and what is being proposed, and proposing factor can stand up and give a presentation, but it gives us a little idea what it is that they're looking to do. I would, yeah, I'm sorry.
Kind of what we wanted to avoid is like when that young man came out, the scout, you know, we had to send them away to get more information and come back.
Yeah.
So we wanted a form that when somebody inquired, you know, fill this out and it tells everything. It tells future maintenance needs, what they need from the DPW, the cost. We try to hit all the bases. And it's something, you know, we're kind of beta testing. And
Yeah.
so we thought, you know, maybe the first time we do it is with this group from Spirit of the Woods.
Yes, but it's way bigger than I thought it was gonna
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
So that's not gonna work for that, yeah.
Well, it might.
Well, it might down the line, but
Because
they're
you
not
can
ready
actually-
for it.
Yes.
Because they're talking about grants, everything else,
Yeah,
yeah.
well.
But,
so-
right, exactly.
Yeah, so, you know, that's kind of what that is. And, you know, Karen's
Thank you.
been working on that, and
Yeah, I mean,
it's 2 pages long, so it's lengthy enough.
yeah, I mean, it's just,
Did
yeah,
we decide that was gonna be something for our purposes?
Yes.
For us
Yeah.
to
Yes.
have more
Yes.
information because it wasn't needed by,
yeah, exactly,
okay, just information gathering. Neat,
yes.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next is the topic of the monthly meeting date change potential, because we have a couple of conflicts with our current third Thursday of the month. I talked to Kelly McCall, and she sent me kind of the master schedule of how this room is
Oh, good,
reserved,
yes.
and then people fill in those other dates, so there's some things that I don't know that are on there, and I'd still have to check with her, but as of right now, the only evenings available would be second or third Wednesdays, or the third Mondays. If anyone is interested, I know we have one person with a third Thursday conflict, another.
What
with a
are the
third
choices
Thursday
now?
conflict.
Second?
Second or third Wednesdays of the month.
Well, Wednesday probably isn't a good idea for the people who travel.
Right, and the other is Monday, third Mondays. Is
Well,
it-
Monday would be a long weekend, kind of like with a lot of them, like what you do on a Thursday. Right? Don't you tend to come up and then spend the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, but I can do whatever. I mean, it don't work
Yeah,
it
but
towards
Tim's
me.
the one-
Tim too, I mean, you
Yeah.
come from out of town, Tim.
Yeah.
Probably work on Mondays, I assume.
I work every day, yeah. I think I would just have to make it, I mean, obviously it's majority, so.
So I
try to
don't,
make it work.
no, and I have a conflict with Wednesdays, but only for the next
Wednesdays
2
would be
months.
bad for me.
So,
Yeah.
so Wednesdays are out pretty much, and
Doesn't matter to me.
matter, and then Mondays are maybe, but I know that,
Third Monday, huh?
the current,
Thursdays?
what's wrong with Thursdays? One of our members has a
Conflict.
conflict.
Every third Thursday?
Yeah, and I've been putting up with it for years and years. So when I renewed this time, I said, I'll renew, but I need to see if we can change the date.
Yeah, you did say that.
Right.
Yeah, she did say that.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, so that was kind of the thing, and, you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I have to throw it out there because,
Right.
So on Mondays, what was that, third Mondays?
I'd still have to confirm with Kelly and make sure, because they do fill in, you know, this is just the standard schedule for all the boards and commissions and the
Right.
city council, so if there are other meetings stuck in there, I don't know yet, but, it's possible that third Mondays we could inquire about, or, we could delay until the new schedules come out in the first of the year, January through January, or December.
you will you give them to us, like, you'd not have to know, maybe in the fall we should address it again, maybe October, November or something.
Is that good, Katie?
Before December.
Yeah.
Okay, before
It
December.
doesn't have to be decided tonight,
I'm
I
good.
think.
Yeah, just
No.
whatever, I'll
But-
just have to work with.
And
Yeah.
be thinking about it, and if anything does or doesn't work for you guys.
And maybe I'll just start missing some of these meetings.
That's sick.
So I can do both.
I think the bylaws say something about 50% of the meetings. We're only required to meet quarterly or more often, so as long as you're excused, I think there is the option to miss a roll throughout the year, so. Yes. Any,
So we're basically just tabling before.
for
Okay.
future discussion, if that's okay
Thank
with
you,
everyone?
yep, but at least we know what's out.
What the options are?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And then this was kind of for Jeff Grants and Studies. Does anyone have any info on the North or South River Walk, pickleball, or?
I don't, but I do have a comment.
Okay.
there's a grant coming up, the 2025 Waterways Grant, and it's due April 1st to 25. So, that gives time to do it. And,
What is it?
well, it could be for 9th Street, to get that ball rolling on that. But, it kind of depends what the city wants to do. But it's out there.
How much? What's, does it?
Well, so the 2024 waterway grants ran from like 15,000 to $500,000.
Wow.
So that would probably just do the first,
Interesting.
yeah. Might just do the study that Jeff wants to do, like a drawing, a study, to get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And I mean, it could be anywhere where there's water, apparently.
Right.
But, so I wanted to throw it out there. Katie could let Jeff know. Maybe we could look at it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
So that's it.
Okay. Does anybody have any, I know that there were supposed to be responses on the beach master plan. Jeff said there were 600 responses from community members,
Yeah.
but he's not here, so. All right, so moving on to new business. We are supposed to, and this kind of goes with the bylaws, we're supposed to do a yearly priorities and projects list each year as one of our mentions in the bylaws. So the question is, do we want to do that like New Year's resolution January, or I know we did that in January one year.
I think this last year, didn't it?
Yeah.
Is that just this past January?
Yes.
Well, I
Okay.
think we want to do it so it
Ahead of
matches with
Coincides,
the
yeah.
city's budget process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we will discuss that further in the fall meeting. So we'll push that to fall. Okay, and the ever joyful annual bylaw review that I think,
Oh, I can't wait.
but it's on the screen, so I hope all of you had time to.
Yeah, and you sent that out too.
Mm-hmm.
But my screen shows a trolley and I don't.
Karen's got.
I looked at,
Katie's.
scanned it, and it seemed like everything was fine to me. I mean,
Yeah.
As well.
yeah.
I just think it needs to be reviewed. Any changes?
Yeah,
No.
Supposed to all be familiar with it. I don't know if that means we're supposed to change it every year. I think that would.
Just review it.
Just review it, I think we changed it.
We did significant changes the last
We
time.
did a lot. We don't want
Well,
to.
we did a lot of changes
Yes.
this last time.
Really did.
I
Thank
think
you,
it's pretty
Karen.
close.
Yes.
to-
I did notice that for some reason we have under our officers, we have the chair, vice chair, and recording secretary, but just secretary for some reason didn't make it into our bylaws. And I know that's Laney. But it doesn't have a description of the recording
The
secretary.
old one probably didn't either.
I can no longer remember. It's been a year.
Yeah.
But this one, for some reason, just goes on to say you have the option to have a non-member of the commission act as a recording secretary if the secretary's not there, and never actually mentions the secretary. So
Yes, probably
do we need to add that, or
do.
can we just,
Because I would look at the
Look at
old
the
bylaws
ones.
and add the wording.
it's under Article 4 on your screen list.
Okay, let's see it.
You
Office
go from
position.
vice chair to recording secretary optional. But and it does say that the commission shall have a chairperson, vice chair, and secretary.
Oh,
But
that,
it just doesn't say it doesn't have an explanation as to what the secretary does. And maybe we don't need that because we all know what the secretary does. But the same thing as the recording secretary would do if the secretary wasn't here.
Yeah.
So, yes, what do you all think?
I would look on the old bylaws, if you still have them, and see how it is. Because it seemed to me like it was laid out. And maybe
Very
just
possible.
incorporate that.
back
Does that
in.
make sense? Thanks for noticing that.
Yes.
I think I was just so buggy-eyed by the time we were done with this
Right.
last year that
Mhm.
it was an
So you
oversight.
did a lot of work on this, yes.
Tim did too.
Group effort, nice group effort.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So I can look at that and offer something to add next time, or
Yeah, I mean, just revise it and come up with a draft and then look at it.
Section
Which is that
4.1.
one change? Yeah.
Okay. No other comments?
No, good.
It's an
No.
exciting topic. I know everybody wants to.
Yeah,
No, but so well laid out though.
it is.
Yeah.
A huge change from last time.
Okay. All right, next on new business is collaborations with the MRA and possibly the Tree Commission. Do you want to talk about meeting with the MRA today?
We met with Eric, and it was a good meeting. It was very interesting because it kind of came off that tree thing that, you know, there are gun to plant these trees, and not just on the, you know, that we better decide. And we kind of seem to be reactive rather than proactive. And like, he's doing a good job, and he's got, you know, a lot of things going on. He's using a lot of practice fields, and with that high school change and stuff, we are practice fields short. And so we had a good meeting on how many he needs. He wants to see some changes at Duffy. He'd like to see more soccer fields. And Duffy is our, I mean, we've got bathrooms there, we've got a concession, we've got basketball, baseball, and soccer. It's a banner park.
Yeah.
That, and he'd like to add more soccer fields there. And then he's looking for a spot to add some more baseball diamonds. So if you had two kids, such as Karen, you know, that you aren't running between Onekma and Manistee, that you're, you know, just on field 1 and field 2. So said, we're gonna get together again. We discussed the needs of, you know, the location.
Well, I don't think there's room there to add everything he wants.
No, no. I think Orange Park
Trees.
tried to offer more, and it was brought up like where, it was kind of like this was just the first meeting, but what would be the long-term goals? Like, where should like 4 more tennis courts be? If you could have a choice of where the pickleballs would be, instead of just saying, hey, let's just throw this here, throw that there, and let's have kind of a master plan that we're looking down the road and saying, we aren't gonna get this all right now, but in an ideal world. So don't plant trees there, because in 10 years, we would like to see something there. That would be, and so it's just, so we wanna move forward on that and just keep getting together, and so.
Remember you
Karen
have,
and I, if anybody else wants to jump in on that, it'd be fine. 'cause-
remember you have the aerial views to review also, so you can see what's there and what,
And we did kind of look at the overhead of Google Maps.
yeah.
Pulled up Manistee and.
Oh, did ya?
Kind of zoomed
Cool.
around all the different
Okay.
parks to see.
And
what
I
was-
don't like it,
available.
I think we're a large enough community and we value our parks enough that I think each sport should play, and he gave the scenario when they were playing down, each sport should play what that field is intended for. I don't like when football's played on baseball, let's just keep it as it is. I mean, we had the discussion with tennis court and pickleball, not cohabitating on the same court. And I think he said like, oh, and it happened to be the high school, which I know is not a community park, but the kids, they were playing baseball down there and they drove down there. And someone parked their car on the disc golf, and it's like, no,
Oh, boy.
let's keep everything, you know, as separate as we can be, and get the usage up that we have enough people playing softball. We have enough people playing this soccer that, you know, utilize, and so anyways, that's where we're at with that. Anybody else would like to?
When do you meet?
Karen and I can keep doing it. We're just gonna get together
Randomly.
again.
Yeah, no,
He's
that's
going back to his
available.
group now to tell that we
That's good.
met with them. He has a meeting of his board of, the MRA, which used to be, one thing in Manistee, the Parks and Rec were together, so I'm glad that we are collaborating closely with them
I
again.
love that
Maybe
you're
you
doing
give me
that.
advance notice, let me know when you guys are meeting again. I'll go with you.
Okay, good. And start thinking about, yeah.
Mhm.
And Sarah, you're on board, I can see that.
I'm sorry, I can't help my smile. But
I know.
He also mentioned who is in charge of scheduling if someone wants to reserve a ball field or a place in the park, so there's not having the conflicts of the class of '84 who wants to meet at this pavilion, but the soccer team is having their party, you know, different things. And I don't think that's a Parks Commission. I think that depends
That's
more
his.
on his scheduling
Yes.
of teams and things, but that did bring up the Lions Pavilion scheduling, why we don't have a way to schedule the Lions Pavilion online. And I was gonna ask,
Uh-oh.
I was gonna ask Chuck.
There we are again.
I think he's, yeah, but,
That is, we need to get on top of that.
And he said, we're not just saying that, he said it just makes us look behind
Oh, for sure.
It
And
does.
he said how hard that is because they have, you know,
Hey, we did go from writing it on a wall,
Really?
Lions for Land, to where we are now.
But he, I wrote it down. He gave us the name of his, what the pool uses at the high school, the aquatic center, and it's called Rec.
Rec desk.
Desk. Thank you. Rec something. Yes, Rec desk.
Yes.
So
We're
Exactly.
making money
Oh.
to be able to pay for programs like that.
I know,
That
but-
would make it,
Yes, he said that.
I actually did call them this afternoon and I talked with a lady and I'm gonna get a call back because I noticed their minimum charge for using Rec Desk, their license is almost $3,000 a year. And
Wow.
I think we've only made 4,400 or something a year or something like that do you know the data on how much we make a year from the Lions Pavilion? So that probably wouldn't be,
It's gotta be more than that. I mean, we're really smart.
Yeah.
They
Well,
don't give
yeah.
you that. This-
but the good thing is, someone's calling me back because they do custom, packages designated for what you specifically need without having to be as elaborate as their $3,000 minimum
Database.
offering, so.
Someone, we're a smart community.
Yeah.
Someone can come up with a
step
database
up.
You're absolutely.
that could do it for
Yeah.
free.
Yes.
Yeah, so anyway, I'll know more when they call me back, but that was that. Anyone else? Okay. A DPW appreciation breakfast is something we did last summer, but I know it wasn't very well attended. And I wanted to ask Jeff if he thought that there was an interest in that this year.
We'd like to.
But I know we're getting close to the end of summer and the volunteers are leaving for college and such really soon. High schoolers too.
Yeah.
are
You guys
starting.
did that last year?
Yeah.
What'd you do? What, donuts?
Cinnamon rolls, orange juice, watermelon.
It was
very
very
nice.
Water. Yeah.
Cakes.
The DPW did not attend, but the high school, college kids
The
did.
volunteer
Oh,
kids.
Yeah, I did.
It didn't really go the way we envisioned.
We
Wasn't
wanted
it-
to do it for the DPW, and like this year, they've done
Yeah,
a
nobody
great
came.
job. They are ones that we were recognizing.
And they could have been just busy because.
Exactly. That's what I think what was going on.
Well, they were kind of, yeah.
So we just need to set a date and do it?
I think I would not want to do it if they're not going to attend.
Right.
Right, so that's a question for Jeff. Do you think they're interested in fresh cinnamon rolls and blueberry muffins?
I mean, yeah, it'll be 15, half an hour.
Or
Yeah.
kind of join us. I think that.
And we don't want to.
Maybe at lunchtime might be a better time of the day, just because they go out at 7 or 8 in the morning, so they're
Go
gone.
back to the shop though at lunch? or-
Sometimes, not always.
Sometimes
Oh,
they go
lunch,
out.
yes, but
Or
not
mid-morning.
breaks. Not always.
No,
The
right.
summer kids do, but yeah.
Okay.
You're just-
Yeah.
So that's a coordination issue.
Yeah.
and an interest issue that we can look at. If we're interested. Scrunchy face, I don't know.
We'll look at it.
Okay.
Smell your lavender.
And
That's what I've been doing.
Do your lavender wand.
And the last thing was a events budget process. I wanted to ask Jeff again, what's the process? Because I know we have a fund for volunteer events and how to get reimbursed, or if we need to plan in advance on how we're gonna fund these story times in the parks and art drop and those kinds of things. Because right now I feel like we're kind of flailing around and we're just paying for things ourselves
Yes.
out of our own pocket, and that's really nice, and I don't think anybody minds doing that, but in the long term, that's not really a sustainable
Right.
way to do things.
Model to do things.
Eventually,
And it
we have
takes
to
more
figure
than
this
you
out.
think. I
It
mean,
does.
You're buying little treats and it's $50. We had, Linda,
Yeah.
you donated for and we used it at the Rocks, and Jermaine
Right.
had donated some.
I-
That was very nice.
Those projects should be self-sustaining.
Exactly, and I think every project so
Yes.
far has been $50 to $100 each
Yeah.
time we're doing them, so that, we need to figure that out.
Okay.
Probably sooner rather than later, so. Okay, round table, gonna start with you, Lainey?
I guess I'm just throwing this out there and everybody can, but the library, they've collaborated with us and we have that, they're raising funds to do that story park area. And I guess thought it'd be nice if we could each chip in like some money, maybe $20, and then we could present it to them from the Manistee Parks Commission.
I'd be in.
I would do that.
And, because they're not asking for they post it, and it's not a lot of money people are giving, but I thought it'd be nice.
They've got
Yes.
quite a bit for
Yeah,
that. I was
yeah,
surprised
they
how much
did.
they've received.
Really?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
collecting
yes.
hundreds, 200s, $50 from,
Yeah, very
different
nice.
groups. I just thought, if you were interested.
Yes, no, I like that,
Okay, I'll be happy to coordinate that.
please.
Thank you.
That's it.
Karen?
Quickly, Plain Air was canceled. It was supposed to be held on the 31st of July. The library is running it. They canceled it for a later date, and I haven't been updated as of yet when that's going to be. But also the First Street beach planters for the winter I've got some, I was talking to Mickey McCann, and he had some birch logs laying around. So I have some birch logs and some stuff that maybe we could add to the bow for the
Yep.
winter time, and yeah, just some fun things, yeah,
Good.
just to keep it festive. I'll get that to you, okay?
On the planning's look good.
Oh, man, don't.
And those planners, those stuff
Man, do they look good, yeah. They do look good, yeah.
I don't know, I just, the parks are being used, and that's the whole goal of the whole thing. And it's a combination of the commission, the DPW, everybody involved, and they look good, and when they look good, they are used more, so, thank you, Mayor.
That's it? Thank you. I put everything I had on the agenda, so.
Great job, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
John?
No, I think we're really at a good spot, good transition, several grants that are about to happen, a number of, I think I might have some ideas where I could actually be supportive and helpful to Jeff. I'm hoping that will happen. That's it for me.
I have nothing to add.
Okay.
I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
I was just gonna say that.
I second.
Okay.
Nice job.
All right, adjourned.
Nice job.